Okay, I've had to write this one down because there's so much good information in this one that I couldn't remember it in one go. So this is my 6 tips or 6 reasons of why to upgrade your camera. Now this is not for beginners, this is more for semi-pros to pros. Let's go. Okay, first of all, I'm going to assume that everyone that's watching this isn't a total novice or beginner. This is for the my subscriber group who are all the kind of bit more advanced, bit more intelligent, bit more awesome than some other channels' followers. Anyway, and I'm sure all of you will agree with me that the term a new camera or a newer camera will not make your photos better. You'll all agree with that, won't you? Yes, you probably will. And the big kind of exclamation marks there is better. You know, what is better? If you take crap photos now, buying a newer, more megapixel camera, faster frames a second, your photos are still going to be crap if you're crap at taking photos. But if you are thinking about upgrading your camera, then what are the 6 reasons of why you would do it? Well, the first reason is because the new camera that you're going to be getting, the upgrade that you're going to be getting, is going to be fulfilling or adapted or being used for your specific photographic purposes. So in other words, if you are a sports photographer, you do need those mega frames a second. You do need 10 frames a second or whatever it is. If you need a camera with high ISO abilities, again, that may be sports because you need to have a fast frame a second, fast shutter speed, or you just need to have high clean images for you to send to publications straight away, especially if you're doing like indoor sports. Also, if you're a wedding photographer, you need high ISO. You don't necessarily need high megapixels because, again, high megapixels just mean, yeah, you know what I mean. You all know. Maybe you're a fashion, beauty or landscape photographer. You now need more megapixels. So that's cool. Go for the more megapixel camera. Maybe the upgrade that you're going for has a better build quality. Maybe in that build quality, we're also talking about better battery life. Build quality, like for some example, some nightclub photographers, maybe you need a camera which you know is beer proof. You know, something like if somebody bumps into you and it falls on the ground and it goes donk off the ground, you can just go over and pick it up. Or if it gets splashed with beer, you can just wipe it off with water. Like you can with like most cameras, actually D300, no D3S, D3, 4 and all that. You can pour a bottle of water on it and it's fine. Nothing really happens. So maybe you need those different types of quality. So, you know, and if you're in tough locations like you're climbing mountains or you're going to the Antarctica, you need a camera that you know is going to work in very cold locations or very, what if I drop at locations, kind of stuff like that. So that's the only reason why I would say, you know, one of the reasons to upgrade your camera. It's not so that you can have higher resolution pictures of dogs or your pet cat or anything like that. That's for amateurs. The other reason to upgrade your camera is if your old one is broken. Simple. But when I say broken, it can mean like it could be damaged, it can just be buggered, it can have dead or hot pixels, which you could try and go and get it sent off and all that kind of stuff, or you could just buy yourself a new camera. Hot pixels are ones which are usually red or blue, and dead pixels are ones which are black. So there's a pain in the ass. Or if it's faulty, or if it's losing its reliability. That's another reason to upgrade. If your camera that you use, you need it to be reliable. If it's starting to not be reliable, if the battery is dying a bit quicker, if it's sometimes just saying error message, you're going, why? Why is it saying error message? I'm going to press the button. So that was number 2. That's just if your current one is broken. Third reason I thought of is that it's got some key features that you actually need. Now this is a bit of a contentious issue. Like, are some of the new key features which are coming out in many of the digital cameras just now, are they really that key? Are they that important? For example, some cameras come out with Android capability. Okay, there's no one that's come with it's GPS built in the camera. That's handy. Or is it? Never used it. Landscape photographers might, for some reason, maybe. People with really bad amnesia, maybe GPS would be good. I don't know. But what I'm saying is with these key features, for example, silent shooting mode. That's a good one. I quite like that one. The what was this? Canon 5D Mark II. The silent shooting mode in this is more like a shitelent, rubbish shooting mode. Silent shooting mode, something like that. Because it's not very silent. It's filming, it's like doing video, and then it says it takes a photo, and it's just, you can still hear ka-tunk, ka-tunk. The mirror doesn't flop up, but you can still hear the shutter going up and down. That's a bit rubbish. And if you're doing like close-up macro photography of some bugs or some rabbits, or if you're out in nature and you're like, I must be very quiet, otherwise this deer will hear me, or this dragon will see me and eat me, or something like that, you want proper silent silent shooting. That's what it is. That I think might be quite good. Another one, your LAN or your Ethernet into your camera. If you're a photojournalist, pretty much all the people at the, the Olympics, a lot of their cameras were hooked up to the Ethernet cables in the stadiums, and were just taking a photo, boom, straight off to the editors, already programmed into their editing suites, and they're like, cool, into the magazine, into the newspapers in the next hour. Amazing, cool, fast from camera to editor to newspaper the next day. That was impressive. For the average Joe, for amateurs, they don't need that. Wi-Fi, is that really needed? Some cameras are coming out with Wi-Fi. You can get Wi-Fi SD cards. I wish they'd make a CF card, because there's quite a cool thing where you can do a Wi-Fi connection with an iPad. So you can, one of the best things here is that a lot of times I do model shots and the model will be like, how did that look? How do you like? Is that good? Is that good? And it'll be after every single photo. And you just kind of go, okay, there you go, there's the camera, okay, there's the camera, yeah, there's the camera. And you go, let's just do 5 photos and then we can look at how they've done. And with this, you can say, you can put an iPad beside you, take the photo, and they go, how is it? And you go, hold on a second. And then it comes up on the iPad, and they're like, oh, right, okay. And then they can go, brilliant. It's almost like a mirror to them, and they can go, tilt, perfect now. You know, that can be what makes a portrait shot, is just sometimes knowing to go like that, drop a shoulder, head over there, just tiny movements, which if, as a photographer, if you're given the direction and you're going, turn it that way, and they're going that way, sometimes showing them what they're doing is the best way of doing it. And an iPad, a Wi-Fi iPad, I think that'd be pretty cool. I like that idea. I need to get an iPad. GPS, landscape, don't get GPS, never done it, don't understand it. But if you are a total landscape photographer and you do need GPS, I think, then having it built in the camera is handy for some reason. Anybody know? Please put the answer down below so we can all understand why you would need GPS in a camera. But are those just gimmicks? That's what you've got to think about. Are these key features really needed for your direction in photography? Number 4. Okay, we're on to number 4. Sorry, going on a bit here. The reason to upgrade your camera is so you can carry less gear stuff. Gear stuff, guff, that's what it is. So for example, instead of having to bring a digital SLR and a video camera, now a lot of digital SLRs have video inbuilt into them, like this. And it just means you only need to carry one camera. The other upgrade is sometimes you can get an extra battery pack, or better batteries, or longer battery life. And what that would mean is that then instead of having to carry your camera, extra batteries, and a battery charger and all that kind of guff, you can just go along with your camera with 2 batteries already shoved in it, and then that's it sorted. It means you're just carrying that little bit less. Same, you don't need to carry a GPS thing. And the Android thing, you just don't need a phone? I still don't get that one. But yeah, just idea, you don't need to carry as much stuff with you. It makes your jobs a little bit easier. Okay, number 5 now. I'll try and go a little bit faster. This is why I haven't upgraded for a long time, and that is to speed up your workflow. Do you upgrade to speed up your workflow? For me, if I'm doing 3-4 weddings a month, or you know, maybe 2 months every so often, doing it with a 12 megapixel camera, 14-bit raw files, they're about 20 megs each. I can fit a whole wedding on one 32 megabyte camera, memory card, and it means so much less faff. And it means when I come back to my big 27-inch Mac, I can just stick it in, edit it all, it goes nice and fast and smooth. Brilliant, score, love it. If I were to go up to, let's say, a 36 megapixel camera, even the small bits of editing, let's say we want to rotate it, we want to straighten it, we want to change a little bit of lens distortion, each edit may take 2.5 seconds or maybe 3 seconds until it's done. And that may be nothing. You know, if you only take 2 or 3 photos, that's fine. But if you're doing a wedding stuff, 3 seconds for it to change like that, and you know, you might be doing 5, 6, 7 different types of edits to every photo, like straighten it, crop it, white balance it, contrast it. You know, if it's taking 3, oh, that would just annoy me so much. So for me, I'm still not seeing the upgrade. Like if I was doing it with the Canon 5D Mark II, 22 megapixels for a wedding, I'd quite happily use their medium megapixel raw file format that they do, which is actually a 10 megapixel. It just makes workflow so much easier. However, for the sports photographers, we were at the Olympics, they're like, photo, bang, shoom, off it goes to the newspapers. That is their workflow, done. You know, that's their workflow so much quicker. And again, maybe if you're a fashion or beauty photographer and all of a sudden you go, oh, I only need 36 megapixels, score, take a photo, done. I don't need my 80 megapixel Hasselblad, score, so much easier. So for me, I haven't seen any camera on the market just now for the value which I can afford, which really benefits my workflow in any way. Everything that I've seen is better, more megapixels, faster frames a second, all that kind of stuff, doesn't help me do my job faster, edit it quicker, all that kind of stuff. Last one, number 6. This is an important one, kind of slightly mutually exclusive of some of the other ones here. This is increasing your hit rate, and the term I like, increasing your chance rate as well. Okay, your hit rate, if you are a sports photographer and there's a guy jumping off a diving board, you can just go like that and go, I've got a shot there. I've got a bit where he is perfectly head in between his legs, biting his balls kind of stuff. Like, that's the shot I want to send off to the magazine. So sometimes cameras with high frames a second and high ISO to make sure you've got a fast shutter speed for that kind of stuff, cool, go for it. That's what you need. Do I do anything like that? I don't really do anything like that. I don't really need more than 6 frames a second for any stuff that I do. But generally, you know, if you're doing a wedding, you don't need, oh sorry, I just took 500 photos there by accident. You don't need that kind of stuff. But here's the other thing, is your chance rate. Because one of the things which is upgradable, or which is a good thing to have upgraded, is the buffer. For example, my older camera, not here, the Fuji S5 Pro, 6 megapixel camera, its buffer sucks ass so much. So if I'm doing a landscape and I'm going photo, 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 it only does about 5 photos and then the buffer is full. I'm just like, what the hell? Come on, hurry up. And I have to hold it still and not breathe until a bit of the buffer is unbuffed, and then I can go photo. And still then nothing happens again. Oh, it's so painful. So that's where having a camera with a better buffer is you can do photo, 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 done. Or if you're doing HDR, you can just go bright, slightly less bright, normal, darker, darker, just go brrr, done. Easy peasy. And it means that if you're at a wedding, I've had this a couple of times where I've taken, okay, great shot, photo, yeah, great shot, photo, great shot, yeah, photo, great shot. Ugh, not working. So that's where that would be the kind of one of the things I would upgrade, or that promotes me to upgrade anything, is actually the buffer inside the camera, rather than how many megapixels it's got. And the more megapixels it's got, usually slows down its buffer, and it means you can take less photos and all that kind of stuff. So it's all lots of little things you've got to think about whenever you're upgrading your camera. And for me, at the moment, there's nothing out there that's really making me want to upgrade. And if there was, I would probably a Fuji S6 Pro full frame. That's what I want. That would be the best thing in the world. But there's no sign of that coming along. But yeah, anyway, this is just for kind of proper enthusiast to pros, not for beginners. So beginners, sorry about that. And if you don't understand, 7D equals DP, Director of Photography. That's what that means, if you didn't know. Hope that helps. Cheers. Bye-bye.